We've talked about, you wanted that fair evaluation to get back, and you've had a little bit more of an offensive presence this year, but to get that first touchdown at JMU, how did that one feel?
That was very special. That was my first touchdown since back at Charlotte in 2022. So, going through last year, not getting on the field much, to completely turning around this year, getting in the end zone in the third game, that was really special, especially against a Power 4 team.
Yeah. Do you think are you pretty pleased with the number of times you're being targeted? Do you feel like you're a focal point in this offense?
Yeah, I'm definitely pleased. Not even me, just the tight end room in general. We're getting used a lot in this offense, and that's different from my whole career, really. If you look at the numbers back, I think I'm definitely on track to have a breakout year.
How much do you feel that y'all's progression as an offense has been props to Dean Kennedy kind of catering to y'all a little bit and adjusting on the fly since the season has started?
Yeah, it's been a great transition over the last the bye week and this week. Obviously, it was a little bit of a slow start versus Charlotte and not one of our best games versus Gardner-Webb. But I think the bye week we really honed in on the offense and we really built it. And obviously, 70 points, it's a big change from 13 points from the last game.
What are some of the things that y'all saw in prep against UNC's defense that y'all could took advantage of and then obviously did?
They played a lot of 4-down. I think our O-line is really more comfortable against 4-down, and I thought we played really well against it. And I really don't think there was nothing much different from the other teams. It was just I think we got started off really fast, and that was a big shout out to the punt block, and that really just set the tone for the whole day.
There's a lot of chatter about y'all finding your identity on offense. What do you think that identity is?
I think the identity is whoever's hot, we're going to feed them. I mean, we have so many playmakers on this offense that you can really give it to anyone, and they're going to have a good day. And obviously, Saturday everybody was eating, so that's the best case scenario. So really, whoever's hot, we're going to feed them.
How much did that bye week and focusing on you guys as a team and yourself help, do you think, kind of get to that 70-point outburst?
Yeah, I think the bye week was a really good exercise for that because, Monday through Thursday was just like any other week for us. So we didn't really take any days off or anything. We really – it was almost like we played a game on Wednesday. We had so many reps, and I think just focusing on not taking a week off and just really grinding and getting better at ourselves and not worrying about other people is what really helped us that day.
And then obviously a 70-50 win over a team like UNC can be kind of a pretty big high. So how do you guys go about making sure that there isn't a drop-off coming into this game against Ball State this weekend?
Yeah, you just got to put the game behind us. You can't take in all the social media and then just walk in like you're the best team in the world. You obviously still have more work to do. And I think we've already done a good job of that, putting that game behind us as we already got started on Ball State yesterday.
How is your chemistry with Alonza growing and progressing? I know you had time with him last year, but just how has that progressed?
It's been pretty good. He's a really funny guy off the field. I don't know if a lot of people know that. He's really funny. And we actually, over the summer, we played video games together a lot. So I think just building that bond over summer was really good. He was my friend last year, obviously, but just not a ton of relationship there. But that's really built over this year, and I think that's transitioned to the field.
Last time this offense was in Bridgeport, you guys only put up 13 points, and then obviously you're coming off of this huge performance. Is there a little bit more extra motivation to kind of put just a great offensive performance on the field for the fans here at Bridgeport?
Yeah, I think there definitely is. I think we set the standard. I think that should be the standard for every week now that we are a high-powered offense, and I think we proved that. So I think from going on, I think Bridgeport can expect to see that a lot more often.
I'm not sure if you've really been able to kind of look at them very deep because it is the beginning of the week, but just what are your kind of initial impressions of Ball State and their defense?
It's still another good team that we're going to have to go out and face. They play 4-down. They play cover 3 a lot. They play a lot of zones, so I think we have a really good matchup there for us on offense, and I think we'll be able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, well, I think they're allowing it's early in the year, but they're allowing 319 passing yards. So do you think you're really going to try and air it out a lot to start the game like you did against UNC?
The funny thing about that is they also let up 372 rushing yards when they played their first game, their second game, I'm sorry. So I really think we can attack just like we did Saturday and really just feed who's hot, and I think we'll have good pass game and good run game.
Just a couple years out of adjusting from wide receiver to tight end, how have you seen yourself maybe, like you say a team plays a lot of zone coverage, run routes in that spot as an X or Y tight end and kind of find the space in between zones. How have you seen yourself develop?
Yeah, I mean, I played tight end my whole life except for last year, obviously. So I've done this before. Finding zones is really what tight ends is about, finding that sweet spot. So, yeah, I think me and the other tight ends have a really good grasp of that thanks to Coach Cannon. And, yeah, I think we'll be able to do that for the rest of the season pretty well.
You've been really good in run defense to start the season, but how does it feel to actually get to the quarterback a couple times? What does it do for your confidence?
Yeah, it was well overdue. I felt that there was a couple times in the first 2 weeks that I should have and could have got to him and just made a little mistake. We fixed it up in practice, and it was pretty fun. You know, I got my celebration in, and I enjoyed it a lot more than it even looked like.
You're one of the only transfers who comes here with another year of eligibility left. What does it mean to have a game like against UNC where all the national praise is coming and you're like, okay, JMU's going to be the spot for me?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It felt that it was coming. I thought, you know, the whole week watching the film on them, I thought this was going to happen, and it happened. Maybe not 70-50, but, you know, I thought we were going to win, and I seen this, you know, happening. We just had to go play, and that's exactly what happened.
Leading up to that game last week, so much of the talk was about Hampton and his ability to run the ball. And up until late in the game, you guys had held him relatively in check. What were you guys able to do that allowed you to keep him kind of at bay?
The coaches had a great scheme for him. Really, they did, and that was the huge part of it. You know, we just went out and did what they told us to do, and it worked out. You know, he's definitely the best running back that I've faced so far in my career. He was tough to bring down. You know, he's very agile, big, fast, and I think the coach's scheming all week for it was really the main part that helped us to stop him.
You know, just apologies if I'm beating a dead horse, but it is kind of the defense did give up 50 points. You guys were able to keep them, you know, a little tamed down in the early on, and then the third quarter kind of, you know, you let a couple go. Just looking at the performance, have you guys been able to kind of just go into it and just kind of, you know, be able to look at what was going on and be able to just talk about how you want to improve moving forward yet?
Yeah, no, it wasn't great at all. We already talked about it. It wasn't good at all. 50 points, no matter how you put it, you know, no matter how much our offense scores, is unacceptable. But we're ready to come back and, you know, be a lot better. Especially after the first 2 weeks, we showed that we could be a top defense in the nation. And then, you know, we put up a rough one, but win's a win, and we're ready to move on. And Ball State's a pretty good team too, so we got to show up.
Given the fact that you guys were going up against a Power 5 Power 5 offense that featured a couple of, you know, guys who might be going on to the league later on, is there kind of that temptation to give yourself a little bit of grace, or are you just kind of looking at like, no, like it's 50 points, like we got to improve?
Yeah, no, 50. Yeah, like I said, 50 points is 50 points. That's can't do that. Usually, I'd say about 99% of the time you'd lose if you give up 50 points. And we watched it, and there was a lot of mistakes. I think, you know, playing in the big, you know, crowd got to us a little bit. I don't think that's how we are as a defense. I think the first 2 weeks is how we are as a defense. I don't think that was. And we'll improve it. We're going to improve.
There is a variety of pressure packages and blitzes, it seemed like, that were rolled out. I'm curious how much of that played a role in your 2 sacks in terms of attention going to those other guys and giving you kind of maybe some one-on-ones, or I don't know, how would you assess how much those pressure packages had on the game? Yeah,
no, it was huge. They schemed a lot for third down, or even, you know, second and long, just passing downs basically. We put in a lot this week to help because we felt that maybe we weren't getting enough pressure the first 2 weeks. You know, we were playing good defense, but that was one of our problems, and I think the coaches schemed it up perfect. I think what they did literally worked out perfect. You know, we still, as players, messed up a lot, but they were helping us get one-on-ones, and, you know, obviously that helped me have the game that I did.
Specifically, Ball State, Coach Chesney, when he was in here, he was saying he likes, you know, their quarterback, and they have a couple skill position guys that can do some damage. Just what have you seen from Ball State and the challenges they present? Yeah,
they don't turn the ball over a lot, which has been our main, you know, thing on defense, has been getting the ball turned over. So that's going to be I bet a big focus this week is trying to get the ball from them. And, you know, I've obviously only watched their O-line, and watching their O-line, they play like they've been together for a while. I don't know how many transfers they have, how long they've been together, but it's a very good O-line, and we're going to have to scheme even harder than we did last week.
Like Jarvis said, the blitz packages have really been getting home, but what do you think you have to do to get more pressure with just the 4-man rush?
What could we do? Yeah, we just got to work on our pass rushing. You know, I think that's one of the weaker parts of my game is getting to them, and I think I really just got to go out there, work on those pass rush moves, and I got to be able to watch the tackle film and know what I'm going to do beforehand rather than just going out there and kind of playing it off feel. I think, you know, I've been playing off feel the first couple weeks and hasn't really worked out great. Definitely not what I expected so far, but get in the film, watch those tackles, watch how they rush, and base your week of practice off of that. That's really what we got to do.
Was Carolina blue an intentional choice with your hoodie today? Or?
No, definitely not. It might have been, actually, now that I think about it. It was waiting for me in the closet today. I don't know. I think that's a sign I had to wear it.
Chesney's talked a lot about, you know, his process is really focused on day by day, you know, focusing on improving yourself. Just as a player, just talk about how, you know, just how helpful is that, just kind of, you know, that sort of like model of self-improvement, you know, especially after you go out and have such a big high like the UNC game was, and now you got to come back down and get ready for a game, you know, this week.
Yeah, no, it's big. You know, Coach Chesney's been great. You know, he's what you want in a head coach exactly. And it's been great. And I think, you know, Carolina was high, but Ball State they're still a very good team too. I don't think that, you know, just because they're, you know, a little bit lower, you know, they haven't been great so far. But if you go watch the film, you know, they've been doing their thing too. They've been keeping up with some good teams. You know, they almost won last week, and I think they're going to be just as much of a problem as UNC was.